This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Slacken the relevant front wheel fasteners. Then jack up the front of the car and support it on axle stands. Remove the appropriate road wheel. Use a punch or narrow chisel to unstake the drive shaft or hub nut from the slot in the drive shaft before attempting to unscrew the nut. Unscrew the nut. To prevent the hub from turning, have an assistant apply the brakes firmly or insert a punch into one of the cooling vanes in the brake disc and let it rest against the brake caliper. Alternatively, a long pry bar can be braced across two of the wheel studs and rested on the ground. Discard the drive shaft hub nut. A new one must be obtained for refitting. Remove the engine undershield where necessary. Detach the control arm from the hub assembly by first removing the lock pin from the ball joint castle nut. Then undo the nut a few turns, but don't remove it. Using a ball joint separator, separate the control arm ball joint from the hub. Remove the castle nut, then fully detach the control arm from the hub assembly. Discard the castle nut. A new one must be obtained for refitting. Push the drive shaft out of the hub while pulling outwards on the hub assembly. If the drive shaft splines are frozen, free them by tapping the end of the drive shaft with a soft-faced hammer or a hammer and a brass punch, or alternatively use a puller to push the drive shaft from the hub. Place a drain pan underneath the transaxle to catch any lubricant that may spill out when the drive shafts are removed. For the left-hand drive shaft, the passenger side, use a pry bar to carefully pry the inner CV joint out of the transaxle, then remove the drive shaft. For the right-hand drive shaft, the driver's side, use a drift and a hammer to release the right drive shaft inner CV joint from the intermediate shaft. Withdraw the drive shaft. Check the oil seal on the transmission case to ensure it is not damaged. If it shows any signs of damage, renew it. If reusing the old or overhauled drive shaft, ensure that a new retaining clip is fitted on the shaft end, or on the intermediate shaft as applicable, before refitting. Apply a little oil to the transmission case oil seal and drive shaft splines. Offer the drive shaft into position and insert the inner CV joint splines into the transmission or intermediate shaft. Be careful not to damage the oil seal. To ease insertion and seating of the retaining ring, position the gap in the ring at the bottom. Push the drive shaft in sharply to seat the retaining ring on the inner CV joint into its groove in the transmission or intermediate shaft. Clean the splines on the outer end of the drive shaft and the hub. Then apply a suitable anti-seize compound. Insert the outer end of the drive shaft splines fully into the hub. Then reconnect the control arm ball joint stud to the hub. Fit a new castle nut to the ball joint stud. Fit a new drive shaft hub nut to the drive shaft outer joint. Then screw on the nut as necessary to fully seat the driveshaft outer joint splines into the hub. Tighten the Newcastle nut on the ball joint stud to the specified torque. Then install a new locking pin. In the event the locking pin hole does not align, tighten the nut a little more until the hole lines up. Never slacken the nut to align the hole. Tighten the driveshaft hub nut to the specified torque. A punch can be inserted into a brake disc cooling vane and rested against the brake caliper while tightening the driveshaft nut. Stake the collar of the nut into the groove in the driveshaft once tightened. Refit the front wheel and fasteners. Then lower the car to the ground. Tighten the wheel fasteners to the specified torque.